Welcome to Soul, a weekly entertainment show on fashion, arts and culture, relationships, and mental health. Our co-hosts are Imani Warren and Dr. Delvena Thomas. Now introducing our host, Nicky Says YOLO, Nicky Gelin.
Bum, bum, bum. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of MIA Presents. So, I am your host. I'm Nicky Says You Only Live Once. I hope you're having a great day today. Now, I do want to announce that we are celebrating our 20th anniversary. We're having a gala celebration of Legacy Magazines honoring South Florida's most powerful and influential Black business leaders of 2024. Now, it's taking place, y'all, at the Chic Sexy Lowe's in Miami Beach on May 18th. So visit miamediagrp.com for more details, how to get your tickets, the time, all that good stuff. So we'll see you there. Now, I love drum battles. I love battles of the bands. And Sound Check Fest 2024, Yard Fest, and Gym Battle of the Bands is back, y'all. It is back. So to tell us more about it is founder Sheldon McLean. But before you can, we're going to drop this quick video sizzle of last year. All right, let's welcome Dr. Sheldon McLean. Now that was last year's sizzle, right?
That was last year. That was last year.
It was really lit. Like this year's gonna like blow it out of the water.
Yeah, it was crazy last year. It's gonna be it's not even gonna make sense how exciting it is this year. So we're really happy about it.
Yes, very, very exciting. So now you're one of our past guests. You were on with Soul last year. So for those that may not know, tell us briefly about the inception of Yard Fest.
Yeah. So what Soundcheck Fest is, it's the combination of music and food festivals. We want to combine that with the culture of youth and education and the marching band culture that we have in South Florida. Really, all of the South, but South Florida is so rich in athletics, and so because of that, the marching band culture is really, really big and it's pervasive. It's everywhere, and we wanted to combine those two elements together.
Okay, so it's basically a Battles of the Bands event type program in a sense.
Yeah. It's certainly that. It's Soundcheck Fest because it has all the festival elements, but at the
Right.
center of it is a dynamic drumline competition, ballad of bands, the hottest schools in the area. Plus, we got some special guests that are coming from out of town.
Okay, so we're gonna get into that. So what impact have Soundcheck Foundation made on the community, and how do you feel about it? Do you feel like it's accomplished? More progress needs to be made. Like, what have the foundation accomplished thus far?
Yeah, I mean, do I feel like it's accomplished?
Yeah.
No, it is the work is continuous. The mission is continuous, but we have certain KPI, like our performance indicators, and a lot of that has to do with resources and the impact that we make specifically in education. So our network is netted over $1 million in scholarships for students that are going off to college, with about $75,000 of that being directly from the Soundcheck Foundation. So we're really happy with that. We have this diverse list of partner organizations that help us to serve, and we're really excited about that. We're getting closer to our goals of, we want to make sure we're reaching at least 1,000 educators in our network and 10,000 students, and we get closer and closer to that every year. So I would say we're moving in the right direction. We've hosted over 50 success sessions for students and educators, and that's where all the work really happens. So we're not there yet, but we're definitely moving in the right direction.
Getting there. So as far as the foundation, it focuses on the music, I want to say, department at these different high schools, correct?
Yeah. Performing arts in general, but music is like the central.
So like, do you see that the program it's improving year over year? Do you see that there's more students involved in the music programs year over year, in particular drums, or I guess the trumpet, the whole, battles of the band type of orchestra?
Yeah. So it's a combination of things. I mean, there's so many elements and things that we have to consider. And so on the front, what we'll see is Soundcheck Fest, or we'll see a ballad of bands or drumline competitions that brings a lot of people to the table. The part that a lot of people don't see is the advocacy. So that's the part, policy creates everything. So we're constantly trying to make sure we're having the conversations with the right people, to make sure we're addressing the void sometimes in public school and private school education for the youth, as well as the resources that are needed to support those programs. So it's a combination of things. In some places, it's more healthy and more robust than others. In other places, it just needs some more support. And we want to stand right there in the gap to help fill it.
And that's awesome. Like, keep our kids off the streets, off
Yes,
social
man.
media, off the video games. Grab your instrument and let's like do this. Let's do this.
For sure.
So, so tell us about the bands this year.
Oh man, it's gonna go crazy. The amount of groups that we have coming is about 22 groups that are gonna be performing overall. And like we said, we're festival style. So in the Yard Fest, we even have some dynamic middle school bands that are coming from West Palm Beach. They're gonna go crazy. Um, all the school, Ely, Dillard, Palm Beach Lakes. I don't want to start calling school names because people say, well, how come you didn't call our name? But it's an incredible list of schools that are going to put on an amazing show. And we even have some university groups that are coming. And that's important because we want some of these high school musicians to see some pathways. We want to illuminate pathways to college for them. And what better way than showing them college and university bands? So we welcome to South Florida, North Carolina A&T University, as well as Tuskegee University. And of course, we've got South Florida's HBCU, Florida Memorial will be in the building.
Yes, FMU. What?
It's going to be incredible.
That's going to be a great event. And I know it gets bigger and better like every single year. So how can we find more details and information about the festival?
On all the socials, soundcheck.beheard. So that's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're in all of those. So make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and then on the net, www.soundcheckbeheard.com. That's for your tickets. That's for all your information. If you have any queries, any inquiries, anything that's not making sense to you, reach out at info@soundcheckbeheard.com via email, and someone on the team will get back with you.
Very exciting. Well, I'm ready. So,
Are
you
you
know,
ready?
we get my gear together
Come
and
on.
you know.
You listen, you gotta be there. Everybody gotta be there because Nicky gonna be there, but you gotta be there. Tell your family, tell your friends. And listen, tell these people to get their tickets early every year. People call, they call my phone on the day of. Can you get us in? I can't help you. I can't help you. Get the tickets
Yeah.
now.
Y'all get it early, please. Don't the man is busy. It's the day of. He's trying to get everything prepared. Like, don't call him the day of. Get your stuff in advance. Please be respectful. Thank you. All right. So PSA. Earl Mac, thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And y'all, I had the privilege of actually going to such an awesome gallery the past weekend. So our next guest, we'll be talking to Art Lovers Presents the Conch House Hughes, and it's also presenting the art of Ray Rolston. So coming up after this quick commercial break, we'll have Michelle Rolston and Chris Norwood. We'll be right back.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman and Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters. Because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Mesman and Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
So we have a really special show tonight. I actually visited the exhibition and I was able to experience it on my own. So let's welcome the founder of the Hampton Art Lovers, Chris Norwood, and also the curator and daughter of the late Ray Rolston, the art of Ray Rolston. So again, we're going to be talking about the Hampton Art Lovers Presents Conch House Hughes, the art of Ray Rolston. So welcome to MIA Soul. And Chris, you're not a stranger to our show. You've been on our show before. So let's get right into it. Now, for those that may not know, briefly tell us about the history and your involvement with the Hampton Art Lovers.
Well, we founded Hampton Art Lovers about 5 years ago as an organization to highlight the Black aesthetic. We believe that art can enlighten, art can educate, and art enriches. And so we have an art gallery in Overtown at the historic Ward Rooming House. And we've been producing art shows here every 3 months since that time, and an art fair once a year.
The art of Ray Rolston. So, why is this exhibition so important to you?
So this exhibition is important to me because my dad, Ray Rolston, who was an artist, passed away unexpectedly 5 years ago. He spent his last 20 years living in Key West. He was a naturalist. He painted his environment, and Key West was the inspiration for the beautiful art that he painted in the last 20 years of his life. Um, he found passion in the beauty of Key West landscape. Conch House Hughes, which is the current exhibition that we have at the Ward Rooming House, focuses on the architecture of the Conch houses in Key West, but he also painted sunrises, sunsets, and sea life like the other artists, Wyland and Guy Harvey. So he actually had a full spectrum of art that he did based on Key West and his time in Key West and his surroundings in Key West. And then at that point, he started to go out to, there's a daily sunset celebration on Mallory Pier in Key West. So he started to go out to sunset celebration every evening and started to sell his artwork.
Oh,
There it just progressed.
that's beautiful. So, when I did visit the exhibition, I was told that there's a particular rooster named Randy. So, tell us about the Randy story.
So my dad actually loved roosters, and he's got a whole collection of artwork based on roosters, which are very vibrant and colorful. And roosters are actually a protected species down in Key West. So there was a rooster that he named Randy, and this rooster would come to his house twice a day. Every day, my dad would leave the front door open, and Randy would actually come to the house. My dad would have food out for him, like in a little doggy bowl. He would come in, he would eat whatever food was there. He'd walk around, he'd look at my dad's artwork because my dad's home actually was his studio as well. So he would look around at the artwork, he'd spend a couple hours, and then when he was done, he would leave. He would walk out the house and, you know, come back later on when he needed to eat again. And that was Randy Rooster. And my dad actually, used Randy as a model for a lot of his rooster portraits.
So, Michelle, your father's last painting, it featured him in particular. So, what is so special about this particular painting?
So a lot of my dad's paintings actually had self-portraits within them. If you look at a lot of his paintings, you will see him in the paintings. And if he's not in the paintings, a lot of times his friends will be in the paintings. But this particular piece of artwork in front of us, this is the Hogfish Cafe, which is in Stock Island, which is one key over from Key West. And it happened to be my dad's favorite restaurant. He absolutely loved the lobster bisque at this restaurant. And this was the painting that he was painting when he passed away. If you look in the upper right hand corner, there's a little white house, and you can see his figure there. And he's actually waving in this picture. And so when I initially saw the picture after he passed away, and I knew that this was the last picture he was working on, and I saw him waving, I felt like it was his goodbye to us.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, yeah, because if you look at the sky, it's kind of, almost rainbow-like. And just the aesthetic of the painting, I felt like he was waving goodbye to us in this particular painting, which is his last.
Yeah. He's like right there, tucked away, nestled in the back, like just
Elevated.
he elevated up. Yeah.
Elevated.
Yeah. So this is so beautiful. So again, so the exhibition is now through June 7th. Thank you so much. I was there myself. It's so beautiful. And I'm not like a professional, but like when I saw like every single painting, the strokes were so controlled. Like there's no bleeding. It wasn't abstract. It was like you can tell exactly what it was. And it was like every tree, every building, person, rooster was where it needed to be. And it was like controlled in that actual picture, if that makes any sense. So
Yeah, he painted what he saw, and he painted it in the most beautiful way possible. And just to add to the conversation, my dad was blind in one eye,
oh,
and he had an aneurysm about 10 years before he passed away. And I knew at that point his vision in his other eye was failing. So he really painted and put on canvas the beauty that he saw around him.
it was so beautiful. And I'm a tropical girl, so I felt everything. I felt like every tropical, whether it was like Brazil or the African continent or the Caribbean, like Key West, like I felt every aspect of what he was feeling. So Chris and Michelle, thank you so much. I am looking forward to visiting again. It's a beautiful exhibition. Thank you for showing us your father's vision, his therapy, his art, his skills. And thank you, to your father for bringing us into his world, and especially the keys. The keys is beautiful, but he brings a whole nother dimension to what the keys are. So thank you so much again, and we'll see you at the exhibition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and keep in mind that they can, all of your guests who are watching can go to hamptonartlovers.eventbrite.com. They can make an appointment. We're open Thursday through Sunday, 12 to 6. But we do ask people to RSVP. And there you'll also see a series of events that we're planning. Once a month, we'll have something called Jazz Under a Simple Tree, which was what we opened the exhibition with. So we'll also be doing a artist talk with Michelle, who we will have a conversation about the artwork. So stay tuned. Go to that site, and you'll be very delighted by what's there.
All right, we're staying tuned. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. All right, y'all. So we are going to go into our commercial break, but hold on. Don't go anywhere. My co-hosts, they're coming up next. So we'll be right back after this quick break.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters, because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Mesman & Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Hi, Nicky. Are you ready to take the couch? I'm bringing you to Miami Gardens, where I presented for Councilwoman Lady Shannon Iguodara. We're talking about stress. Check it out.
Our guest speaker today is Dr. Delvena, a tireless advocate and nationally recognized mental health expert. Welcome to end the stigma of mental health and educate the public about the brain. She's a mother, an American soldier, a scientist, a physician. I like to say also a down-to-earth community person. Affectionately known as Dr. Delvena, she is the author and producer of her own podcast, the Brain Love Podcast.
I call myself the Queen of Brain Love because I'm a board-certified psychiatrist. I'm board-certified in psychiatry and neurology. April is Stress Awareness Month. What is stress, what causes it, and how we can deal with it, how we can cope with stress. Stress can be good and bad. You cannot avoid stress. What is stress? Stress is a threat or a demand and how our body responds to it. That's basically what stress is. We feel threatened, or there's some sort of demand on us, and we feel stress. And stress can present physically, and it can also cause emotional tolls. So when we feel stressed, or we feel a demand, or we feel a threat, something happens in our brain. Stress can be good and stress can be bad because sometimes we need that stress to protect us, right? So if you hear someone walking up behind you, you hear footsteps, and you feel a little stress, and your heart starts beating fast. So you're making more blood so that blood can go to your muscles and you're making sugar so you can become faster, more alert, and have energy so you can keep a person up, so you can protect yourself. So that's the type of stress you need. You need that stress. So when we notice that there's a demand or a threat, the brain in a little area called the hypothalamus will send a signal to our adrenal gland. The adrenal gland is on your kidney. The adrenal gland will then respond by making adrenaline and cortisol. That then triggers a response from your liver to make sugar, blood sugar. So you need the sugar to help activate you, to awaken you, to make you more active, to make you more alert. The cortisol causes your heart to beat fast and your blood pressure to go up. And that's because you start breathing quickly and shallow breaths. So when you're breathing quickly, the heart starts to race, the blood pressure goes up.
Okay, Nikki, and now we will talk about ways to deal with stress, how to extinguish stress, how to manage stress, how to prevent stress.
So you mentioned exercise, walking, fresh air when you're outside walking. Hopefully we're walking outside and not on treadmills. Jazz, or listening to whatever music that you like. Sleep, yes, sleep. I love to sleep. Gardening, oh, I love that. Being outside with plants. I love having plants in my home, in my office, because it just makes me feel so happy. Meditation and prayer. What else? You swim, perfect.
Well, that's all I have for you, Nikki. Say brain love.
Peace and beautiful blessings, my MIA fam, and welcome to another Arts and Culture Report by Imani. This time, we are talking about the solar eclipse at Virginia Key Beach. That's right, folks. I went to Virginia Key to see if I could see a little bit of the eclipse, and I actually was given some glasses to see half in the moon. It was really, really cool if you had the glasses. If you didn't, it was very, very difficult to see because the sun was at 1,000% today. But I had a shoot working on a documentary behind the scenes about some things going on here in Miami. Can't say right now, but we were filming today at the beautiful Virginia Key Beach. And this is some behind the scenes, some BTS of the location. Now, everyone knows that Virginia Key Beach is one of the most beautiful beaches. It was owned by a millionaire back in the day from the early 20th century of Miami. So here on the beach, just, trying to gain some wellness, trying to do a little bit of meditation in between preparations of the shoots. There were some people on the beach with beautiful horses. A lot was going on today, as you can see, but the most important thing is always talking about the history and environment and maintaining one's well-being. So this was my little trip today to the ocean. I want to touch bases on talking about the carousel. Of course, this was a beach that was segregated back in the day. It's always important to kind of recycle the information of what has happened historically. As you can see there is a marker in regards to this fabulous beach. And I'm also, being by the water and whatnot. Now, guys, remember that we are in Mercury retrograde, so it is a time for a lot of deep meditation because we are in Mercury retrograde in Aries, and that means that there is a lot of things to be transitioned and renewed, and we need to definitely work on that. But getting back to this beautiful carousel, which is a replica, they opened this for us today. If you're there on the weekends, it is absolutely free to ride. I did not ride it today. We were just there filming. And as you can see here, some BTS behind the scenes of our shoot and some of the other activities that's going on out there. But I suggest you go during the week if you can, because there's nobody out there. You can go. You can be on the beach by yourself. You can meditate. You can get in the water. And the water was so calm today. Here's one of the fabulous sisters who works for Virginia Key opening the gate for me so we could have a really great shot of the ocean. So I'm so grateful to her. Thank you, ma'am. It's really important also to just talk about, like I said, continuing on with the history, the education, and the importance to know that this particular beach, this carousel, once was where the original, so African Americans could have a place of leisure. We need to normalize leisure activities within our arts and our cultural practices. So I definitely wanted to speak about that. And last but not least, guys, I'm going to leave you with this little bit of eclipse meditation. I hope that you all are doing well. I hope that you all are, I hope that you had a fantastic day. And I hope that all your wishes and your meditations and your dreams and desires come true. Make sure that you go to the beach. Make sure that you ride the carousel or the merry-go-round, as they say back in the day. And stay tuned for some other great, amazing things. Peace and beautiful blessings.
All right, y'all. So thank you so much for tuning in. A big shout out to the co-founder of the Soundcheck Fest 2024, Sheldon McLean, and also Michelle Rolston and Chris Norwood with the Hampton Art Lovers. And a big shout out to my co-host, Dr. Delvena and Imani Latifa. And again, y'all, don't forget, we are celebrating our 20th anniversary of Legacies Gala. We are honoring Florida's most powerful and influential Black business leaders for 2024 at the Lowe's Miami Beach Hotel. It takes place on May 18th. Visit miamediagrp.com for more details and info on how to get your tickets. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you on another episode of MIA. So...